folks, it's Amy from Colorado Mountain Living. This week we celebrate getting our roof finished. Woo! Let's raise the roof! So this project got started, the roof, way back this summer, and getting it all put together and built, and then we had a little bit of a lull. We were trying to figure out if we were going to be doing the metal roofing or if we were going to hire someone to do it. So we were initially going to try, Brian was going to try to do the job himself just to save money, of course. But when we found out that time was going by and the clock was ticking and we were really running out of time, Brian realized that we just wouldn't be able to do it ourselves. It would take him an entire month to do it himself, and we didn't have that time to spare. So what we proceeded to do was to call around and get quotes. Well, no one's really in a rush to kind of get back to you, it seems like, around here. We got our first quote right away, but then we couldn't get a second quote for almost 3 weeks. It was 2 weeks before the person got back to us. So by the time we ended up going to hire someone, we were 3 weeks later than we would have had we just gotten started. So long story short, the roof has been in the making for a while, and we had some bad weather like you've seen in the videos the last couple of weeks. So we've had some slowdowns. We had a slowdown because the roofing supply company didn't send the right amount of panels, so that set them back another week. So anyway, it's thrilling to be feeling like we're 100% dried in, and we've got the roof on for the next snowfall. We're not going to have snow sliding on us in big avalanches. We're going to be dry inside because on Monday we're getting finished with the electrical. So even though the roof is done, we still have so many big ticket items left. There are still so many things to do that we have to get done before the end of the year. At least I'm thinking before January, before Christmas. We have to get the electrical finished and signed off on by the state inspector. We need to get our plumbing dried in and finished. That means we also need to have our well done, which we're still waiting on our permit. We have to get insulated. We need our floors in. We need drywall. Those are all things that we need before we can even move in. So they're big items. Half of them we're not doing, we're hiring out because we're trying to speed the process along. But it's still one of those work in progress, waiting for folks, waiting to see if we can save time by, helping speed some steps along. So we're trying to finish by the holidays so we can take a little bit of a break, take a little bit of a vacation, and come back to a really nice, cozy house. So that's definitely our goal, is to be moved in before we go on our Christmas break. Probably the most popular roofing type for metal roofing is standing seam, but we decided to go with corrugated because it's half the cost. Now, my dad said, if you want a roof to last 100 years, go with standing seam, but if you want it to last 30 years, you can do the corrugated. So we decided to go with that to save costs. It definitely was worth it to us, and I think it looks really nice. The roofing company we went with is called Top Coverage Roofing, and I can't say enough about them. They've done an excellent job. It's very professional, very thorough, and it looks fantastic. And they work really quickly. If they didn't have all the delays, I'm sure they would have been done in a week. But I wanted to point out one thing that they did. So one of the features that the roofers did for us was they put this little cap on the timber that's sticking out from the roof peak, and that will protect it from the elements. So it's a nice little matching little cap of roofing material that's going to help preserve the wood up there. And we successfully got our roofing inspection signed off on, so that was a great moment as well. It's like progress, guys, so things are moving along.
Okay.
It feels good. Something happened over here. Something got into my bee box. Everything is spilt. The whole thing's turned over, and I don't think the wind did this because it was sitting right here and it's way over there. So how would all of it? The wind always blows in this direction, so if the wind blew, it would have blown that way. But somehow it's in a big pile right here. And by some miracle, the beehives are not touched. I mean, I would have sworn it was a bear that would have done something like this, but it did not even go into the beehives, even though I stupidly forgot to hook it back up last night. The thing's wide open and the charge isn't on. So that's a mystery. Guess I'll pick it back up. Normally the fence is hooked up and provides quite a jolt, and maybe it's kept the bear out to this point and it learned that this is just not an area to go in. Maybe it got shocked before and that's why I didn't try. Because I really don't think that anything else would have had the strength to move that container and dump it over, other than a bear or a person. But I mean, there's nothing in there. It's just gross beekeeping stuff. So we'll count our blessings and be lucky that bears didn't get to the hives last night. Suppose it could have been another animal, or a raccoon, or even a person, but this is why I think it was a bear. Just last week we had fresh bear tracks right behind the house. Neighbors have reported that bears have gotten into their chicken coop, and I think they're just on their final hungry prowl to scoop up anything they can find. So there was probably something that smelled good or smelled like there could have been food in that beekeeping box, but really we got lucky, folks, that they did not go after the beehives. I guess it's just that time of year where everybody's hungry and everybody's trying to pack away the last bit of food. The bees certainly are trying to pack it in, so winter is just weeks away and everybody's trying to get their fill before going down for the long winter nap. This is our plan to get busy. First thing we're going to do this weekend is roll out this cable. We got to roll this down in the trench that we've had dug for almost 3 weeks now. This has got to get together. We got to prep for the electrician coming Monday. Got to get a head start. So Brian's going to hook up some more lights. He's going to try to connect some cables and let our electrician do the rest. And then after the electrician is done, and all of this insulation that we put up is going to be coming down when we do the foam insulation. So that's going to happen after the framing inspection. After we get certified, signed off on our electric, then we will be getting our framing inspection. After that, we can hire the foam insulation folks to come and spray foam. So this pink foam insulation is just temporary for now. Also, the rough plumbing has to go in. Here's just a little piece of PVC, but this, you know, the toilet area, the shower area, the bathtub area, the sink area, also in the kitchen area. So all of this has to be rough plumbed. So the sink's going to go here, and also the plumber's going to rough in the natural gas line for the gas range oven. So if we go over that again, we've got to finish up the electric. Now, our electrician is squeezing us into her busy schedule. She's quite busy, but she lives up in this area, so she said she'd be able to squeeze us in starting Monday, getting a day, and she thinks she could finish everything in 2 days. So that would be starting Monday and then finishing on the first week of November. And that would get us ready for the inspection from the state. We had to have 2 inspections. We had to have a trench inspection to look at our trench and get that signed off on, and then the general house electric. And then after that, we'll be able to do our framing inspection. Once that's done, we can go ahead with our foam insulation. I can't wait for that part because I really want to see how efficient this house can be once the full R value is achieved with the foam insulation. So that can be done in the following week. And then we're still waiting on our plumber's availability. He had about 4 weeks out. So once that's done with the rough plumbing and everything, then we can start with drywall and the flooring. So we might be able to get a little bit of a jump on the flooring. For example, in the fireplace area, Brian's going to be putting up all of this soapstone. It's 2 foot by 1 foot, almost 2-inch thick soapstone pieces. So this whole corner, the wall, along the window and the floor, this is all going to be done in the soapstone, like a little mini hearth or something. We're going to do tile in the kitchen area tile in the bathroom area, and then hardwood floor in this main living area. We do have help that is available to help us with the drywall and the flooring. A friend, an independent contractor that we know in the community is available, and he'd be happy to work for us, and that's going to speed things along, especially while Brian's at work, to be able to get a head start on the drywall. That's definitely one of the things that we'd love to be able to get done, so we can get started on the flooring. And once the flooring's in place, we're going to put in our appliances, our cabinets in the kitchen, and we can start moving things in. We'll be really far ahead in all of our inspections, and I'm going to ask the house inspector next time he comes if there's other things that he can sign off on, because I think we've got some other items on the card that he can sign off on, including our gas line, our driveway, and some other things. So it still feels like we're kind of behind, and we're never going to make it. It's only about 8 weeks away to the end of the year. Really hard to believe, but I think we can do it. I really hope that you guys think the same thing and can encourage us to keep going. I think it's the most stressful parts have already happened, even though there's still a lot of work left to do. So yeah, fortunately, the things that are left to do, we don't have to do ourselves. So this weekend, the priority is getting the chimney up and going and getting that coil of electric line down into the trench. Definitely a big weekend ahead of us to kind of get prepped, get ready for the electrician who's coming Monday, but also being ready to kick up the gear. Maybe we'll start with the stone hearth. Maybe we'll start by ordering some of our supplies, our cabinetry, and getting them all ready to go. So it's kind of exciting to know everything's dried in. It'll be really exciting once the foam insulation is done, but we'll keep you guys updated from this weekend when I think it's going to be kind of exciting getting that electric line down into the trench. We're going to have to really pick the rocks out. It's definitely getting a lot more exciting because some of the finish work is some of the more pretty work with the flooring. And thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks for joining us in our journey. If you'd like to see how everything turns out and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and just hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll stay updated on our journey trying to finish up our home build and move in before the end of the year. So big goals. We'll see if they happen. Keep you guys updated at the next video. Take care.